Welcome to the Healing Bridge. I am your host, Deborah Salter. I am here to give you a lesson in A Course in Miracles on the forgiveness of illusions, Chapter 16, True Empathy, Compassion, and Sympathy. To empathize does not mean to join in suffering, for that is what you must refuse to understand. That is the ego's interpretation of empathy and is always used to form a special relationship in which the suffering is shared. The capacity to empathize is very useful to the Holy Spirit, provided you let him use it in his way. His way is very different. He does not understand suffering, and would you teach it if it is not understandable? When he relates through you, he does not relate through your ego to another ego. He does not join in pain, understanding that the healing pain is not accomplished by delusional attempts to enter into it and lighten it by sharing the delusion. Now, I want to add the definition, the world's definition of empathy. The ability to understand and share the feeling of another. The feeling that you understand and share another person's experience and emotions. The first definition means that we are meeting another in ego to ego, sympathizing with them. Sympathy means feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. And compassion means sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. A Course in Miracles has very different definitions. A Course in Miracles says that the true definition to empathy is that to empathize does not mean to join in suffering at all, by any means. And I will elaborate as we continue. The true definition for compassion is the loving understanding for what someone is going through without identifying with them or as them. And the true definition for sympathy is an understanding between people. It's a common feeling. But judging first from past experiences sympathizes with people. So in this situation, we must let go of all judgments and opinions of past experiences because we can only live in the present moment because that's all we have right now. Judgment and pity is labeling as something bad or wrong, an experience as bad or wrong, someone as bad or wrong. And I feel sorry for you. I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry what you're going through. But A Course in Miracles says there's no such thing as bad or wrong. There is no part of our life that is not helpful. Everything is perfect for every experience that you go through in order to evolve. We must understand that nothing is bad or wrong, and only good can unfold. Right? Let me find the good in all things. All of life is helpful to me. Everything is bringing me to my highest and best good. So sharing in someone else's pain is not helpful because someone else's pain is delusional. And delusion does not accomplish healing. That's why the Holy Spirit does not join in the delusion. The Holy Spirit doesn't relate through egos, from my ego to another's ego. The ego is a delusion. The ego is a fear-based programming, which keeps us stuck in lack, limitation, and small thinking, littleness. Love doesn't have emotions or confliction in joining and sharing. Love is the highest and best way to join and share. So here, when you invite Holy Spirit will take this empathy and sympathy and symptoms of the ego and transform it, giving the truth to you and the other person regarding the true meaning of the experience. Since we created these illusions, we are the ones that have to undo the illusions. And all it takes is willingness to have the illusion replaced with truth. So Holy Spirit will not relate through the ego and cannot join in the pain and understanding, because we created that. Paragraph 2, the clearest proof that empathy, as the ego uses it, is destructive lies in the fact that it is applied only to certain types of problems and in certain people. These it selects out and joins with, and it never joins except to strengthen itself. Having identified with what it thinks and understands, the ego sees itself and would increase itself by sharing what is like itself. Holy Spirit doesn't know suffering because we made the suffering and the pain. Therefore, we have to be willing to release the meaning we gave to the suffering and pain and allow Holy Spirit to do the heavy lifting. Your ego will seek to meet another ego to destroy and strengthen itself. So if you're joining with another person in their empathy, pain, suffering, you are an ego and can see the other one too. So you think you're being truly helpful, but you're really not. And you being the one that now knows this must be mindful of how you may be destroying yourself while you're joining and suffering in any way. Having identified with what it thinks it understands, the ego sees itself and would increase itself by sharing what it is like itself. So I want to give you an example. I joined in suffering with a brother, and I did not invite Holy Spirit. I brought the past to the present moment and got a really bad headache. The same night, and it lasted through till the next night until I remembered that I joined in another's illusion. My ego joined with another ego. And what happens when your ego joins with another ego? It's destroying you and it's strengthening itself. So make no mistakes about this maneuver. The ego always empathizes to weaken, and to weaken is always to attack. You do not know what empathizing means, yet of this you may be sure. If you will merely sit quietly by and let the Holy Spirit relate through you, you will empathize with strength and will gain in strength and not weakness. So only the Holy Spirit can strengthen. If we let the Holy Spirit work through us, it will empathize with strength and will gain strength, not in my own ego will, but in the will of God as a strength. Your part is only to remember this. You do not want anything you value to come of a relationship. You choose neither to hurt it nor to heal it in your own way. You do not know what healing is. All you have learned of empathy is from the past, and there is nothing from the past that you would share, for there is nothing from the past that you would keep. Do not use empathy to make the past real and so perpetuate it. Step gently aside and let healing be done for you. Keep but one thought in mind and do not lose sight of it. However tempted you may be to judge any situation and to determine your response by judging it, focus your mind only on this. I am not alone, and I would not intrude the past upon my guest. I have invited him, and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. This is key. We step gently aside and let healing be done for us through Holy Spirit. And we focus our mind on the prayer, I am not alone, and I would not intrude the past upon my guest. I have invited him, and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. True empathy is of him who knows what it is. You will learn his interpretation of it if you let him use your capacity for strength and not for weakness. It just takes your willingness to allow Holy Spirit to come through you and transform it from a weakness to a strength. He will not desert you, but be sure you do not desert him. So because you are never alone, Holy Spirit is always there. He will not desert you, but be sure you desert not him. That is when you forget who you are. Humility is strength in this sense only, that to recognize and accept the fact that you do not know is to recognize and accept the fact that he does know. You are not sure, which is doubt, that he will do his part because you have never yet done yours completely. You cannot know how to respond to what you do not understand. Be tempted not in this, and yield not to the ego's triumphant use of empathy for its glory. And the ego's triumphant use is for lack, limitation, pity, sorrow. The triumph of weakness is not what you would offer to a brother. Let's just think about this. If it's something you would not offer to a brother, let's just say you're having an experience that you would not choose to have, and you're sensing some pain and suffering. Would you want someone to come sense your pain and suffering, or would you want them to hold you in the highest and best regard, to lift you up and out of that? I know I do. I would love for someone to hold the space for me, to help me in a situation as their vibration is high, to help pull me up and out. That is being truly helpful. And yet you recognize no triumph but this. This is not knowledge. And the form of empathy which would bring this about is so distorted that it would imprison what it would release. The unredeemed cannot redeem, yet they have a Redeemer. Attempt to teach him not. You are the learner, he the teacher. Do not confuse your role with his, for this will never bring peace to anyone. Offer your empathy to him, for it is his perception and his strength that you would share, and let him offer you his strength and his perception to be shared through you. So in these situations, you speak out, lead me, guide me, show me. You can think this in your mind. If you're in an experience, you're dealing with someone who is in pain or suffering, this is the most beautiful time to be the alchemist, to join in with Holy Spirit, invite Holy Spirit in and say, lead me, guide me, show me. Because you're trusting that the Holy Spirit is there at all times. We can't have a clue because we alone cannot understand anything. Clearly, us in our own understanding does not help anyone, nor does it help yourself, nor does it help anyone, nor does it help humanity. So this is what A Course in Miracles calls the atonement, the at-one-ment, the oneness, the help from Holy Spirit. This is our highest and best good. It is our highest and best good to choose the atonement in all experiences, in that now moment, never bringing the past experiences to the present moment to join in so that you can get the person to understand that you have been in the same situation, or you really want to provide them comfort, so you want them to understand that you understand what they're going through. You don't have to understand what they're going through. Your only job is to transform the whole experience, make it holy, and lift that person out of fear and bring them into love, oneness, high vibration, high frequency. That is being truly helpful. Trying to figure out, make sense of this on your own is a fool's errand. Give it all up to the Holy Spirit to do everything. Holy Spirit does the heavy lifting, the guiding, the transformation, whatever it is that you need and the other person needs. Where two or more are there, I am. That is where everything becomes transformed and the truth is revealed to both of you. The meaning of love is lost in any relationship that looks to weakness and hopes to find love there. The power of love, which is its meaning, lies in the strength of God that hovers over it and blesses it silently by enveloping it in healing wings. Let this be, and do not try to substitute your miracle for this. I have said that if a brother asks a foolish thing of you, to do it. But be certain that this one does not mean to do a foolish thing that would hurt either him or you, for what would hurt one will hurt the other. Why? Because we are each other. We are a reflection of each other. I am you and you are me. Foolish requests are foolish merely because they conflict. Since they always contain some element of specialness, only the Holy Spirit recognizes foolish needs as well as real ones, and He will teach you how to meet both without losing either. So this is where we take everything to the Holy Spirit and let Holy Spirit teach us. You will attempt to do this only in secrecy, and you will think that by meeting the needs of one, you do not jeopardize another, because you keep them separate and secret from each other. This is not the way, for it leads not to life and truth. No needs will be left unmet if you leave them all to him whose function is to meet them. That is his function and not yours. He will not meet them secretly, for he would share everything you give through him. That is why he gives it. What you give through him is for the whole sonship, not for part of it. Leave him his function, for he will fulfill it, if you but ask him to enter your relationships and bless them all for you. So I want to invite you to invite Holy Spirit now and bless all my relationships. Transform them all, make them all holy. And do the heavy lifting, the guiding, the transformation. I know nothing. And I'm in assistance to all of the sonship. So as I'm surrendering to your love and learning and understanding, I may be able to offer that to all my relationships. And so it is. And so just a few pointers here. Love does not have emotions or conflicts in joining and sharing. Love is the highest and best way to join and share. I just want to really invite you to be aware of any situation that's being brought to your attention, and that you don't go to the past experiences to pull them back into the now. You've already dealt with your past experiences. Your past experiences are gone and can never return unless you return to them. So as you are joining with another brother, invite Holy Spirit prior to every single conversation. Allow Holy Spirit to teach you. Allow Holy Spirit to speak through you. Be aware of the true meanings of a situation, of a word, of an experience, and share those truths to everyone. They will join you, truly join you, and they will amplify your energy. They will amplify you. You will be amplified in the truth, as well as all of humanity, because you are a reflection. You are reflected light, shining bright. And this is our purpose. You may have a specific function, a special function, but your main purpose is to reflect light. I'm so grateful for this joining. I'm so grateful for this sharing. Thank you all, and I love you.